So, it's been a while since I've done one of these, took a little bit of a hiatus off. This used to be called Conversations by Daylight, where I interviewed exclusively DBD tubers, and we're still doing a DBD tuber, but this is now called Conversations with Kaiser. I've kind of changed the format a bit, so consider this the first episode of like a season 2. Hins was the season finale of the first one. So, today, if you guys don't know how this works at home, I'm basically just going to sit down and have a conversation and get to know another creator. And then later on, we'll get some questions from the community, and that'll be it. Today, I'm joined by the wonderful Puffaleup, the king of all trades. Puff, how you doing today, man?
The king of all trades. I was wondering how you were gonna introduce me. I don't know what I'm known for, but hey guys.
So Puff, you want to tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do in case they don't know?
Oh, I'm a DBD content creator. I used to only make Survivor videos, like the usual looping killers for 5 gens stuff, but then I got tired of it and I started a series, which is likely what you guys know me for, LFB, Learning from the Best, where I would learn killers using their adept perks with like known creators or known players of that certain killer. And yeah, I mean, I just transitioned into like both roles, and now I'm a both roles player.
And it's actually funny because when you first started cropping up with the Learning from the Best thing, I'd say like 2 months before, I was sitting in my chair and I was like, I wonder what a series would be like if I got like mains to teach me how to play killer for content. And then I was like, nah, I'm not well known enough. And then like I said, 2 months later, somebody showed me one of your videos and I was like, that son of a bitch. He beat me honestly, to it. But no, it's
the LFB idea is something that I feel like a lot of people have had. Mm-hmm. Like this, like get known people to teach you killers. It's just that nobody actually did it, and it started like getting frustrating.
Yeah,
and, I mean, I'm sure you're gonna ask me about it like later on, but if you want me to, I can talk about how LFB came to be, because I never did.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, the format's changed a bit. Instead of writing questions like I used to, that's more of just a natural conversation until we move on to the community section. But no, that was actually going to be my first thing, because like I said, I didn't have the balls to reach out to anybody. When I first thought about it, I was like, there's no way I'll be able to get any like famous killer main to like help me out. So like, I'm actually wondering like how you were like, you know what? I think I will ask random people.
I mean, it started when I wanted to have a series on my channel, because making the same video over and over, which I'm sure you're familiar with the Survivor content on YouTube. It's everyone kind of makes the same video, and I was part of the people that made the same video over and over. I guess I stood out a little bit more because my videos were not all too similar to everyone else's. I'm not sure if you've watched my Survivor stuff, but it was less edited, less like about the editing and more so about me. And I guess people liked that more than the usual stuff. And I liked it more too. And then I wanted to do every single Survivor adept, and I was gonna do like every Survivor and like do like 3 Survivors per video. And yeah, but then I ended up just putting all the Survivors in the same video, and then people were like, yeah, why don't you do it on killer? And I was going to do it with just random viewers. But then Juglet, are you familiar with Juglet?
I am not, no.
Juglet is an Oni player and also a content creator. And he wanted to participate. And then I thought it'd be cool to like have different creators teach me their killers. And then I scrapped the all killers in one video idea, and I transitioned it into like having content creators teach me. And I guess it really like blew up really when Hints participated in the Ghostface episode, because then like people were more prone to participating.
Yeah, it's funny how that kind of thing snowballs, because like this series that we're doing now started with a mutual. The very first episode was with Tatariu, the Legion main. Yeah, so it was a similar thing. I was like, I want to do an interview series of other creators, and then I was just like, hey Tat, you fucking want to be the first guest? And then it snowballs from there. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's great. I love watching the Learning from the Best series, even if I tend to like space out sometimes, but that's just the ADHD. It's just interesting. I don't know. I feel like I've done like videos on this in the past, but like I feel like there's just a lack of educational content in the community. Like we just don't have as much as I feel like we should. And
Really?
yeah, like it's we're mostly, I don't know if you've like ever like taken a stroll through like the general DVD content space, but like we're mostly just either I beat this P100 bully squad, or I made killers hate me, and then on the other side is just like commentary content. Like there's not a lot of educational stuff. And so like I really enjoy it from that perspective, because you're not the only one learning, everybody else is. And it's just it's fun to listen to. So it was definitely a great idea. What made you start content creating, like, in general?
Oh, that goes way back. I'm not sure a lot of people know this. I mean, I talk about this a lot, but I'm Brazilian. I live in Brazil. The English is not my native language, and I've always made I don't think there was a point in my life where I wasn't creating videos, but I started with videos in Portuguese, of course.
Right.
And I did commentary videos, like, like just like grabbing random videos off the internet and talking about them in Portuguese. And then like my channel like changed a lot, and then I started doing webcam commentary videos. And then I thought I can't express myself well enough in Portuguese. I don't feel part of the Brazilian community. And I just started doing videos in English for DBD, because DBD, I remember how I started making DBD videos is I saw a Zubat compilation, and I thought it was so cool that there's like survivors juking killers. Like it's a horror game where like the killer, you can make fun of the killer. I thought that was cool, and I just decided that I wanted to be good at the game. And I didn't really have anything else going on in my life. I was 21. I had just dropped out of college because I just didn't like it. I was just sitting at home all day, and I thought, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna end up like just having a miserable life if I don't make something work.
Right.
So I didn't really have the option to like not make this work. So I committed to it, and it eventually worked out, I guess. Thank God.
Yeah, it's a scary thought, man. Like I'm 31, and I've had dreams of being an entertainer since I was like 9. It's like, and like people ask me like all the time, they're like, well, how did you like decide to dedicate yourself to it? And it's like, I just had to. Like I spent God, dude, so many years of my life just like, oh, I'll start trying to be an entertainer next year. I'll start trying next year. I'll start trying next month, I was always like, oh, right now I got to focus on getting a regular job and doing regular things and stuff like that. And it just, after a while, you kind of realize that you don't have that option. You can't do it sporadically. It's not going to work. And I think that's what a lot of people just don't realize. You can't just like, oh, well, I'll do YouTube like once a month, and then like barely, you have to dedicate. It's like, what drew you to Dead by Daylight as like a game, like in general?
Oh, yeah, just continuing off of what you said, concentration has to be a full-time job. You have to treat it as a full-time job, even if you're not making anything.
Yeah,
it's the only way to like make it work. There's no easy way around it. I mean, unless like nepotism, or like someone, and you just get fame off it. No, it just doesn't work. You have to keep doing it.
No,
you gotta like master your craft as well.
Yeah, exactly. And like the other thing, the both good and bad thing about the nepotism point is that even when you do know people, it doesn't necessarily translate well to like growth, because if you're entertaining, people will watch you. What you need, and this is where like the luck factor comes in, you need the right people to see your content, because your content's not going to be for everybody. So like, people, like you said, you weren't really sure what drew people to your Survivor content. The right people had to see it, because like there are people who are fans of like A-Run, JRM, stuff like that, who want the heavily edited meme compilation type style, but then there are people who don't. And so it's like it depends on who sees your content on that growth. But like I've known people, like I knew a guy who he was best friends with a streamer who regularly got like in the thousands, and he would collab with that streamer all the time, but his channel would get like 20 people watching it, And it was like he was always like pissed off and everything, and I was like, dude, it's because you don't do shit. Like you don't do anything to attract the crowds, man. It's not enough to just have your friends shout you out. You got to do something unique or be something that people can't find anywhere else.
Yeah, exposition is not always like getting the exposition has to come at the right time, right? You have to be ready for it. That's what I always say. That's what I always tell people. Because like content creation, I can't really like teach you how to do it. Like when people ask me, I can't just like teach them how to do it. Everyone has their unique style, but what you have to do is be ready for when the luck comes, because it's luck. Like exposition is luck. So you just have to be ready for when it comes, because if the luck comes and you're not ready for it, you're not going to retain anyone, and then you just got to wait until your next opportunity. And the good thing is there YouTube is not really a one and done type of opportunity. Like the opportunity comes and it comes again, it doesn't go. It keeps coming. So just make sure you're like improving and creating things, and try to like uniqueness is hard. Now, hello?
Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, my internet is really bad. I forgot to tell you, but it's been terrible recently.
No, dude, mine too. I thought it was me at first. I literally was checking. No. But yeah, no, you kind of faded out when you said uniqueness is hard to come by nowadays. So if you wanted to start back from that thought process.
Oh yeah, just as a warning, this might happen again. But yeah. So uniqueness is hard to come by these days because everything has already been done, it feels like. And especially when you're so restricted, like if you're a DBD only creator, for example, it's even harder. But
yeah,
if you try your best, like improve upon known concepts, because LFP is not a unique concept, but I feel like I improved upon it and I created something that can be interpreted as new, and that's all you can really go for these days, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's like the biggest thing too. I think I was talking with Mint about this, where I basically said you don't have to be the only person doing what you're doing. You just have to be the only person doing it like you. You know, I was talking to my chat about it the other day. My videos are not unique at all. In fact, it's very 2009, 2010, you know, Call of Duty commentary channels. It's just me yapping. Like my shit could very easily be a podcast because it's just me talking. There's no point to the actual video. There's no high quality editing, you know, anything like that. But people come specifically for the way I present my points, the jokes that I make. But I'm nowhere near the only commentary channel. I think that's what a lot of people forget about content creation. I like to tell people, just do it, man. Just quit beating around the bush. Quit, like, take it from me who spent like years, like just avoiding doing something because I wanted to wait until something else happened. Just start doing it. You've got a shitty 720p webcam with a microphone that sounds like it's from fucking McDonald's under the sea. Just do it. Just do it. Get your practice in. Learn how to make videos. Learn how to improve. You know, get steady and get ready to learn how to be in front of a camera and on a microphone and just do what you're gonna do, because you can't sit around and wait for the proper time, because if you wait for the proper time's never gonna come.
Yeah, and you can't be afraid of sucking, because you gotta suck first to improve. Nobody starts knowing what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can ask anyone from me to like Starva to like I don't know, a 1,000 subscriber YouTuber. They're gonna look back to like their first videos and they're gonna hate them because they were terrible. Everyone
I loathe my earliest videos. Oh my god, it's so. I had my Kaiser de Bard channel. What's supposed to be my main, but my main is actually the gaming channel now because it's more popular. But that channel, and not even just that channel, like if I go all the way back, so I did, I used to have a YouTube that I'm not going to name because I'd rather it not be found, but I used to have a YouTube where I did commentary videos, and I would use a pink digital camera that my mother bought. I stole it from her. And they had no editing because I didn't even know what the concept of editing was. And I was a 16-year-old rambling about shit that had no idea what they were talking about. And it was fucking, sometimes I go back and I watch those videos and I just cringe because I'm just like, I can't believe I thought I was funny or well-informed at all in this era. And I have to tell people, man, like you're gonna hate your first stuff, even when you're established. Like I'm starting video essay content on my Debar channel, and I don't like the first video essay that I made, but I've already spent 2 weeks on it, so I'm not gonna scrap it. But I guarantee in a year I'm gonna look back on it and go, wow, I could have did like a billion things way better than what I did here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what you have to do. There's no way around it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have
yeah?
Do you have like any problems with like fans crossing boundaries from time to time?
Oh, I mean, it mostly happened like at the start, because my community was very small. When I had like 20 active Twitch viewers, for example, my community was much smaller and tight knit. So they would like join the Discord and they would like be friends between them.
Mm-hmm.
And because I already had experience with being a content creator, I tried not to join in too much. But I got sucked in, right? Because like these are people that care about the stuff that I make. Yeah. I just saw them as like friends, and then I tried pulling back after. A whole bunch of stuff happened at the start, but
yeah,
nothing too egregious happened. I had a semi-stalker once though.
No, I'm in the middle of an interview. Thank you.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Continue.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it because the situation has been solved, but it was kind of scary for a second. Like they found out like my real name, where I lived, and like friends of that person came to me with the information. But
oh yeah,
never really bothered me too much.
Yeah, I was that's something that I was thinking about. Now I wanted to ask because like I had wondered, because like I've had problems with people like crossing boundaries and stuff, and I think it, like you said, it has a lot to do with the fact that right now my community is very small, and so like people are a little bit too familiar with me. I had to make a rule in my Discord to stop like insta adding me as a friend when you joined, like if I didn't know you, because it's just like, you know, people they see your content, and they love it, and you know, we're always grateful. I think people forget that as content creators, we're grateful for what we have. You know, we wouldn't be doing it without you guys, but I think sometimes people forget that like we're also human, and we're not your friend. We try to be friendly, but we're not your friend. And I actually have you ever had this? I had people try to date me because they like my content. I had to make a rule about like I don't date viewers, because like I've had like 3 different people like confess their love to me randomly, and I'm just like,
confess their love?
Yeah. Wow. Never had a conversation with them ever, and they're like, I've been a big fan of yours and I'm actually in love with you, and I'm like, no, you're not. You're definitely not.
Damn, that goes deep then. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever had that like that deep.
Yeah, but no, that's I was wondering like if it gets easier the bigger you get, because I mean obviously you are larger than me by a significant amount, so I didn't know, you know, how much that changes as time goes on.
I mean, I think it's less so about your size and how much, and more so about how much you entertain it. Like the less you, I mean, there were people that tried getting close, but then like it's like not entertaining it to a point where like people just give up is the way to go for me. Because now, I mean, back then I was also single, so like I've always had this thing where like I talk about how I hated being single, and there was like a quip, like a joke in my streams. I would always make jokes about it, and I've always had like a lot of like girls watching me, and I'm a straight man, and I'd like they would like get a little too comfortable with me.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, I've been in a relationship for like 7 months now, so like shutting people down like that is easier for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't really care.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it. I think it's just I think, like I said, it's the whole, you know, parasocial thing. It's the they enjoy your content, they like it, they feel like they know you personally because of it. And it I don't know about you, I feel bad rejecting people, but I had to start being hard on it, man. I had to. It's just,
I mean, like people falling in love with you means that you're doing something right, though.
Yeah.
Like I'd be flattered.
Yeah.
If it weren't creepy.
Like, yeah, on one hand I am, because like I don't find myself to I don't particularly like the way I look or anything. So it's like on the one hand it's like, oh, I'm glad you enjoy me like that, but also Can we not?
Fair enough. Yeah.
What do you think's been the hardest part of content creation for you so far?
The hardest part about concentration. I mean, I guess posting things that don't perform as well. I mean, what I've been struggling with recently is that my YouTube channel is doing amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's to a point where I feel like my name is pretty recognizable, but my streams are doing less and less well as time goes by. I don't know why. Like when I got partnered, I was averaging like 120 viewers consistently, and now my streams drop all the way down to 50 these days, and I don't know. I'm not doing anything different. So yeah, I guess the answer to that would be just like the impacts that numbers have on your
like, mental
mind.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's honestly, that's probably, to me, that's like the second hardest thing. Because like I went variety recently. I don't know how much you keep up with my channel, but I went variety recently. So I stopped doing Dead by Daylight, and I knew I was gonna take the hit. I knew it was gonna happen. But it still fucking hurts.
It never stops hurting.
Yeah, to go from averaging 5,000 to 6,000 views, or 4,000 to 6,000 views every video to barely cracking, 1,000 if I'm lucky, has been like fuck. It's
the best thing you can do in that situation, and I mean, I'm not speaking from experience because I'm too scared to try variety now, but it's just like try your best to maintain the content you've already made, and have the other content be like extra. You're not hurting anything else.
Yeah,
you're not hurting your normal content.
Right. Well, and that's why I have different channels. So I have like a commentary channel, video essay channel, and stuff like that. But I had to step away from Dead by Daylight content because it was just not step away because I still make it. But like I had to like stop making it my main thing because I was just so miserable. I don't know if it's just, I'm sure it's not just me, but like I don't know what it is, man, but like lately, like every game has people giving up, and the toxicity seems to be like cranked to the max. You're either laying on the ground for 4 minutes if you play Survivor, or you're getting people giving up on their first hook if you play Killer, and it just wasn't fun. At a certain point, I just wasn't having fun anymore, and like trying to come up with a different DBD topic every single day was just, I was trying so hard to not bitch, you know what I mean? And I think that's what I had to do, man. It was better for my mental, but yeah, the numbers definitely hurt.
No, they do, and it's funny that you point that out because I do feel like recently the toxicity and overall like bad manners in DBD has increased a lot. I think it's because, like, I hate blaming the devs for everything, but I do feel like DBD devs they're just like borderline incompetent when it comes to that kind of stuff. Because let's just talk about like a regular issue that I feel like a lot of people would agree and resonate with on both sides, which is map offerings, for example.
Yeah,
like. There might be a few people opposed to removing map offerings, but like the general consensus in the community, I feel like, and I don't have the numbers to back it up, but is that map offering should be removed. And it's like, of course the devs are seeing it, like everybody knows, but why are they not doing anything about it? It's like, I feel like map offerings are a big part of toxicity in general in DBD for both roles, because like when you're playing fucking Pig and you see an Eerie offering, you're gonna be pissed right away because you know what you're going up against. It's the same way that if you're playing Survivor and you see a Midwich offering, you know that they're gonna hard sweat. I don't know, and it's also like the unspoken like feelings that people have, just like a killer does something and you interpret that a certain way and you see that as toxic, or a Survivor does something, and like I don't know if it's a fixable problem at this point anymore. Like the devs could help the problem, but I don't know how it would change the way people behave in the game.
I think the mentality of entitlement has run too deep within this community for too long. Because like this is, I don't know about you, but this is the only gaming community I've ever been a part of where outright griefing your teammates by throwing your game is defended by like a chunk of the community. Like I've never played a game where somebody will be like, yeah, I just give up as soon as I see a character I don't like, and like half the community would be like, yeah, that's valid. Like, what do you mean? Like, every other gaming community would like laugh at you. They'd be like, what are you talking about? Quit being a piss baby and just play the damn game. Like, this is the only game, but it's been so many years of, I paid my money for this game. I'm gonna play it the way I want to play it. Hell be damned to the rest of the lobby, and I can do whatever I want to do. Like, everybody treats this like a single player game when you've got 4 other people in the lobby who are directly affected by your experiences. And like you said, the devs can do a lot, but I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a combination of both.
Yeah, but like, okay, so the way you said that that in other games people would just laugh at you. It's true, because I feel like in a game like League of Legends, for example, you don't like a matchup in League of Legends. You're not just gonna give up,
right?
But in DBD, and there's also like other incentives, like usually you're playing ranked and there's points going into it. In DBD, there's just so much miserable shits that people can like employ upon you on both roles. Again, like there's so many playstyles. They're borderline just like, you're playing a game to have fun, but that thing is just there and you have to endure it. That I feel like no other game has. Like, they're like, let's say like bleeding a survivor out, for example. That's something that no other game has. Like, you can't just hold someone on the fucking game hostage for 5 minutes, for example.
Yeah.
Because you just feel like being a piece of shit. And I'm sure there's something like that on Survivor as well. I mean, the things I can think about is just like playing against 4 stacks when you're playing a lower tier killer or you're not as experienced.
Yeah.
But like,
well, I mean, survivors can play their favorite game, hide and seek, for 25 minutes.
That's true. Yeah, they can just hold you hostage by hiding. That's horrible too. I despise that.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're not cutting me off in any way. I'm just saying, I understand both sides when it comes to that. Like, giving up against the killer that generally has a stigma that is going to do something. I would wait until something happens, but yeah. It's
just a horrible outlook. It really is a mentality that no other community has. Do you think that you gained a better appreciation for the killer side once you started playing it more often?
Well, I mean, I've always that's a misconception that people have, and it's my fault for doing that. Like at the start of every LFP, I say that I'm a survivor main, but I've always played killer. I've just never like been super deep into it because, like, and I'm being truly honest when I say this, I don't like DBD. I just play it because it's my job. Like, ever since I started making videos about the game, I kind of lost the passion for it. But at the same time, I love creating content so much that I don't mind playing the game. Like, I enjoy my time creating content. But because I only made survivor videos, there was no point in playing killer.
Yeah.
But yes, at the same time, like, there were killers like Skull Merchants that I just wouldn't think twice about before, like, just despising the character and like anything regarding the character. But ever since I had Pixel Bush teach me like the ways of the merchants, I understood it more and I started enjoying playing Skull Merchant. Still hate playing against her, but like, I understand why it's enjoyable, you know, and not because, like, I always had this, like, I mean, I'm to blame for the entitlement mindset as well. I'm not blameless. Like, I always felt like people were just playing Skull Merchant to be a piece of shit. But then I understood that not so much. Like, it can actually be fun.
Yeah, and I think that's another, like, kind of brainworm that fits into the DBD community. Like, I feel like every gaming community has, like, you know, oh, X player be like type memes. But like, the DBD community seems to be the only one I've ever seen where they're like, if you play this particular killer, you are a lowbrow piece of shit that deserves to hang from the rafters because you hate everyone, including yourself. And I'm like, whoa, dude, chill. Like, I remember when I first started playing the game was right when Night released, and Hens made that, like, holding survivors hostage for an hour with 3-gen Knight or whatever video, and I bought the Knight shortly after, and I started playing him, and my very first game, somebody was in chat and they were like, oh my god, you picked Knight, you're such a piece of shit. I was like, whoa, dude, like, I just wanted to learn the character, my bad, man. I didn't mean to. I say this all the time on my streams. Like I'll start a game and then like I'll like be chasing someone and they'll pallet stun me and then they'll like rapid teabag me and like emote at me and I'm like, my bad, bro. Didn't mean to boot up his killer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to commit the crime of playing the game on the opposite side to you. But yeah, it's that brainworm. Like I don't get it. And like I resonate heavily with the like not liking DBD but liking content creation. Because like part of my love for making DVD content is there's so much to talk about. Like I could do daily videos about DBD for the next 2 years and probably not run out of shit to talk about. But like at the same time, I have to play the game to talk about it. And sometimes I just don't want to do that.
No, yeah. I feel them.
Oh man. Do you have like any kind of advice for people that are trying to maybe shift to the other role and see like what they can do? Like is there a transitionary period between the two that you think?
Oh, that's such a cool question. You're prepared. Okay. Yeah, no. One thing that a lot of people feel like when they change roles is that like no matter what role you're playing, you're gonna have a better time playing the role that you play the least, because it's just more there's more to learn. Because I feel like I plateaued at Survivor. It's something that I say. Like of course I could get into like competitive 1v1s, but then you're playing a whole different game. I feel like at like Survivor role, I knew everything there was to know about the role, and it might sound egotistical and delusional or whatever, but like baseline I just felt like I knew everything there was to know. But then when I changed to like understanding the killers, I found like a whole new world, right? Like there's just like so much to learn, and like the little intricacies and learning killer macro and the killer micro, and just like like if people are trying to like transition from a survivor to a killer, are you talking about content creation or just like playing the role?
I'd say either one, whichever one you feel more comfortable answering.
Oh yeah, because I mean, again, I only play DBD for content, so like I guess that's easier for me. Like if you're gonna do something, like if you're a survivor only channel and you want to make killer videos, try to, because you also agree that the educational content is lacking. So try to do something like learning a killer from scratch or something, which is also something that I'm doing now. Yeah. Just like grab the interesting aspects of the other role and try to like hyper focus on them. Don't like just jump into it broad, because then you're gonna be confused and overwhelmed.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I went, because I did the opposite. I was killer main for my first 400 hours before I finally played Survivor. And for content, I ended up doing something. It started as the Survivor Shenanigans, which was just like a compilation of all the funny moments of me learning Survivor. And then it grew into DBD Shenanigans, which is just all the clip compilations from my streams. And now it's just Kaiser Shenanigans, which is just variety. But I agree with that. Like, find what makes the other role unique. Because like in Killer, what makes the role unique is, to me, the skill ceiling of Killer. But in Survivor, what makes it unique is how you interact with the rest of the lobby, right? How you interact with your teammates, how you interact with, if your teammates are in voice, you know, how you talk with them, how you interact with the killer, if you can tame the killer. I've seen I forget the channel name. I wish I would have like remembered it, because they only had like 300 subscribers, and I thought the video was like really interesting, but like they were like, it was like trying to tame killers challenge, and they like saw how many killers they could tame in a day. And it was genuinely like some of the funniest content I ever saw. And I wish I could remember the name or find them again, because I'd love to see if they're still doing it. Because it was just a funny fucking video. It was like 20 minutes and I just could not stop laughing the whole time. And I wonder if they're still doing that. You know, it's like, I like that. I like that outlook. Find what's unique about the role and transition into that is a really good outlook. For me, it's also like, remember all the shit you used to bitch about the other side doing. Find out why they do it. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. And okay, this might be controversial, but I do feel like survivors are more bitchy than killers in general, because like so if you only play killer, you can still have a broad understanding of the survivor role and why they're doing certain things. But if you only play survivor, you can't understand the way the killer is playing. And I do feel like, because you said that you enjoy the skill ceiling of killer, I feel like survivor has a higher skill ceiling than most killers in the game, because there's just more to learn and less time to learn. Like, because you have to like learn how to loop every killer, how to play every towel, how to like be like resource management and stuff. But that's all in chase, right? Because the general survivor gameplay is easy,
right?
But chase looping specifically is something that takes a lot of skill. But like, if you only play survivor and you're like watching the killer slug or like camp and tunnel and all the keywords, you just see it as bad manners. Like, God, the killer doesn't have to fucking do that. Just be better. Just down people faster. That's not really how the game works. Like, there's certain situations, and they're like, most of killer is just how well the survivors can play the resources. If you're playing a killer like Blight or like Dracula or whatever, like higher tier killers, yeah, it's a skill issue. But there's a lot of killers that can't play around stuff. Like, you just have to like get rid of the stuff and then chase survivors that put themselves in that spot that you know that resources they're not at. I don't know how I got here.
Yeah, you will never have a more infuriating experience in this game, at least in my opinion, until you play a purely M1 killer like Freddy Myers Trapper, and your only course of action is to just hold W until you catch them. That shit is so goddamn infuriating. It will tilt you off the side of the planet.
A way to just like counteract that is by using the fact that you don't have chase to understand killer macro, because this is something, and like I heard Hens talk about it recently as well, and I resonate with it so much that I truly believe that you can play the lowest tier killer in this game and still win every match, just with understanding killer macro and understanding what your win conditions are. Again, there will be unwinnable games, of course, like if you're playing against a super coordinated team, but most of it is down to you. Like, it's how much you understand of the game. Because if you are just holding W until you kill someone as an M1 killer, that's just a bad play. But it is infuriating if you don't have the like broader, more like complex knowledge of what you're supposed to play in those situations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I fully agree with that, because I feel like a coordinated enough team is going to run you over, depending on the lower tier killer that you're playing. You know, if you have a team bringing in like BNPs and you know, Commodious, and you've got survivors that can hold their own in a chase, I feel like there's just nothing a trapper is going to do against that.
No, it's way less effort by the survivors to beat a killer than it is for a killer to beat the survivors in that scenario. I agree entirely.
Yeah, it's definitely, and it's such a I think that's why the conversation around like what sided quote unquote the game is so muddy, because there's so much good points for both roles. Like, me personally, when I play Survivor, I feel fucking helpless half the time. You know what I mean? Like, I hate, like, because like when I play Killer, I feel like I'm walking through mud, but when I play Survivor, there's Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? So it's just like it's to me, like, there's so much that both sides have that, in my opinion, are really good points as to why they feel like the other role is stronger than they are. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of the people who get in those arguments or try to have those conversations don't understand that both sides have really good points. Like, go on any patch note video and look at the comments and just watch how many people are like, oh, Dev's making it killer sided again. Oh, Dev's making it survivor sided again. And then like those people will like meet in a comment and they'll start arguing in the replies. And oh my God, it's a fucking war zone. Like, I forget which video I did. I did a patch note video, a patch note update. And there were two people who were writing collegiate level essays at each other about why this game is killer or survivor sided, depending on which side they were on. And they went on for like 100 replies. Like
Yeah.
I was watching, I never interfered. I don't get in the middle of two cats fighting, but I sat
Smart.
there and just watched as these guys wrote like text, like walls of text at each other. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man, y'all are off their rocker. I mean, I did end up having to delete those comments because they started resorting to slurs, which is always fun.
Yeah.
But
That's the end game every single time.
yeah.
Can I say something that like, I mean, I'm gonna make a video about this soon because there's something else happening, but I do generally feel that the reason people argue so much in this game and people have so many different opinions is that everyone sucks and they don't know they suck because there is no ranked system. There's no real way to tell you that you suck.
Yeah.
And like you only have your own experience. Imagine that you only have your own experience in life to go by, and like someone else is telling you that your own experiences are invalid because so and so. It will never compute. Like you will never understand that. You might think in your own little world that you're the best player ever, and you're only losing because of unfair advantages that the other side has. But it's not true. You are just bad. But how do you know that? You don't.
Yeah, no, I made a video one time. What was the title of it? You suck at Survivor, and so do I. And I had the exact same concept. I should have made one for Killer as well, but I had the exact same thought. Is everybody in this game sucks, dude? We all suck, like so fucking bad. We are shit at this game, and like nobody wants to admit they're shit at the video game. Like I've seen people say they're bad as like a joke. But then I watch their stuff and I'm like, no, you're actually trash. Like, and I am too. I am too. Like, I want like people watch this. I don't want you guys to think I have an ego. I'm fucking dog shit.
No, I suck too.
But like, I started a mini series. Nobody submitted to it in a while, but I started a mini series called Roast My DBD as like a coaching thing. And holy shit, the amount of stuff I was able to point out people were doing wrong. Like, it's just like, brother, like you have no idea like how badly you can micromanage your mistakes in this game. But like you said, people don't want to admit that to themselves. And so they feel this sense of, I'm better than the opposition. I'm better than this. I'm better than that. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I can't wait till you make that video.
Yeah, no, I will. Do you watch Comp DBD at all? Are you familiar with it?
I had to stop watching Comp DBD after like 90% of comp players turned out to be insufferable.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I see that. But I've also held the opinion that like I just didn't like Comp DBD until I got into LFB. But if you feel like you're good at the game, like even remotely, watch a comp player like actually play. Like watch a comp game. I mean, not necessarily like a comp game because then like there are rules and there are things happening.
Yeah.
But like just watch a random comp player play a pub game and watch how much you suck, because it's like the difference between the average pub player and a comp player, and I'm sounding like a comp player saying this, I'm sorry, but it's just too big. It's too big. It's two different worlds. And like that's a great way to humble yourself.
Yeah. No, like I agree. Like I was watching what's his fucking name? I think it was Nightlight. I think. I forget the name, but it was one of the members of Team Eternal. I was watching him one day, and like the way his brain works in terms of like seeing the game. Actually, a great example is to watch Otz. Watch Otz and listen to the way Otz Darva talks. I don't think a lot of people understand it, because people just watch Otz because he's just an entertaining fucking dude. But if you listen to the way he talks about his thought processes in the game, it is a completely different level than the rest of us. That man can be in the first 5 minutes of the game tell you exactly how the game's gonna end. Just like based off of like the tiles he sees in front of him and the distance between things and what perks he ended up seeing and how far a gen is finished compared to another gen. Like he's like a fucking supercomputer. He just calculates everything at such a vastly different rate. And that's how some comp players are, like some of the top tier comp players. And you know, like I said, 90% of them are insufferable as shit, but I'm not going to deny their skill. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree that they're on a different level than the rest of us, man. It's crazy.
No, I'm not like endorsing the players. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that they are good at the game. Like
Yep.
that's something that we can't deny, and it's a good way to humble yourself.
Yeah, massively. Well, we've been talking for about an hour. What do you say we get into some community questions?
Go for it. I'm ready.
All right. So I'm going to start over on Twitter. We got a couple of people. So the first one, the first question that kind of stood out to me was actually really interesting. It got me thinking about halfway through. It's from Gum Reaper 0802 over on Twitter. And they say, if one person was to think all the time and one person was to autopilot all the time, who would enjoy Dead by Daylight more, in your opinion?
Oh, autopilots. I mean, even in life,
Yeah.
being ignorant is a fucking blessing.
Yeah. No, it's it was definitely one that to me, because like at first I understood where they're coming from, because like if you're thinking, then like maybe you're enjoying a little bit more, but ignorance is bliss. It's got to be the most peaceful fucking thing in the world. Like like you said, even in like real life, it's just like sometimes I think about things like I don't want to get like too people really hate it when I get like too like social commentary or political or whatever, but like I wish I was ignorant to all the ways that like capitalism fucked us over. I wish I could sit back and be like not think about that shit, but like then you think about all the like sinister shit. Like I said, I won't get deep into it, but you think about all the sinister shit that's just like systemically wrong, especially here in the US. I don't know how it is for you in you're in Brazil, I think. I don't know how it is for you in your country, but like in the US, like all the systemic shit, I wish I didn't know about all that. I would be such a happier person.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a curse of knowledge. Like us humans, we are condemned to think, to know, or to think we know. Yeah, especially in DBD, because it's not as complex as life. DBD, it's just a poorly managed video game, and the more you think about it, it's like, let's say you're all knowing, you will see the glaring flaws with the game, and you will just be more angry.
I think that's why I became less franchised with DBD over time. Because like when I first started it, you know, I didn't know anything, and everything was a new adventure. And then after a while, I would start noticing like all of the different ways that there are problems that could just be fixed by not being there. You know, I'd be like, oh, you know, like for Gideon's Meat Plant, for example, like I always didn't like it, but I never really knew why I didn't like it until I became so much more experienced at the game. And I realized that having a safe pallet every 2.5 feet is a stupid fucking idea.
It's not good.
It's so boring. Cause like the way I said it one time, I was like, it's not the most survivor-sided map in the game. It's not the most powerful map in the game. It's the most boring map in the game. It's so fucking boring. Pre-drop, run around, wait for the break, leave. Pre-drop, run around, wait for the break, leave. Like over and over and over again. You know, or like when I finally realized exactly like why Batum sucks so bad for Killer. You know, because it's like, who the fuck thought to put every generator in all the corners of the map, upstairs, downstairs, into the most powerful buildings imaginable. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where the more you learn about the game, the more you realize the glaring issues with it, and that kind of ruins your perspective. It ruins the way you look at the game, and I feel like a lot of people don't recognize that, you know?
People think they do, and that's the problem. Everyone thinks they know how to solve the game. No, again, it boils down to that they're just bad.
Yeah. It's so easy. If the devs would just boost exactly what I like, then they would fix it for everyone.
No, but there are so many glaring issues that I feel like everyone sees, and the devs must also see. But I also hold the theory that they're just trying to cash out of DBD, and I don't know why. Like, what are they gonna do after? But
yeah,
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, by the time people see this video, I will have a video called The Inevitable Fate of Dead by Daylight. And that's more than likely going to simultaneously be my most controversial and probably my most agreed with video. But my perspective is that this game breaks every patch. You know, every single patch there's a game-breaking bug.
It's embarrassing, yeah.
And on top of that, they are adding so much crap that eventually it's going to get too much for even veterans to remember. Like, things are going to get forgotten in the shuffle by even people who have thousands, tens of thousands of hours in this game. This game is going to die at some point. Like, I don't think it has the lastability of World of Warcraft or, well, World of Warcraft's the best example, but you get, League of Legends, RuneScape. Yeah, it doesn't have the lastability of those kind of games because there's too fucking much, and the fact that the game breaks all the goddamn. I mean, it's like they've got a foundation of playing cards and Pringles, and they keep putting more and more weight on top of that foundation, and it breaks a little bit more every time. And like ever since the UE5 update, it's been terrible.
But have you ever wondered why they don't just maybe even as a side project, just rebuild DBD from the ground up?
That's what I've been saying. Like, why? Like, why are we not just rebuilding the fucking game?
I feel, again, and okay, that's one of the supporting arguments to my theory that they're trying to cash out, because it wouldn't make immediate money. It would be a long-term solution, right?
Yeah.
And if they're trying to cash out, they're just trying to make as much money before the game dies.
Yeah.
Keeping the game under wraps, or that's I don't know why I said that. No, keeping the game stable enough that they can keep making money until it falls apart.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's a scary thought, man, because I like the game enough that I want to see it flourish, right?
I need it to flourish.
Exactly. And that's the hard thing too, go back to content creation and sticking yourself to one game. I came from Apex Legends. I started my gaming content career with Apex Legends, and recently Apex gotten a lot of shit because they were just people are finally starting to catch on to EA being EA, and so many Apex creators had to jump ship basically because it just wasn't, people weren't, if the general public doesn't like the game, content creators don't get to make content on the game. We can't make money or a living off of content for a game nobody plays, because they're not going to watch content around a game they don't play. And so
I feel like the content creators are not going to let DBD die, though.
Yeah,
I disagree with you that DBD is going to inevitably die. There's nothing like DBD out there.
Yeah,
until something like DBD comes around and stays, DBD just won't die.
I don't think the game's stable enough to survive for too long, though. Even though it's unique, which is a great thing, I just don't think it's stable enough. I think eventually it's just going to be an unplayable mess. I remember...
I see that, but I feel like people would just sit there and wait for months until they fix it, and it would just come back.
Yeah, I guess I'm overestimating the dedication people have to games that they play. Sunk cost fallacy. I guess I could see that, yeah. Here's a fun one. Meow Ryu on Twitter asks, if you could cosplay any killer for a Halloween party, who was your first pick?
My first pick for a Halloween costume. Wait, let me look up DVD killers. Give me 1 second. What would fit me the most? Huh. I don't know, I don't want to say Michael Myers, because I feel like that's too basic. I'd go as Singularity.
Singularity would be fun. I think I would never be able to do it because I'm nowhere near that talented, but I think the Dredge would be fun to cosplay.
Oh my god, how would you do something like that?
Dude, cosplayers are wild, dude. Cosplayers will find a way. I've seen people cosplay absolute monstrosities before. They'll find a fucking way.
Yeah, I was thinking of skinning myself to be Singularity, but yeah, no, I could also make a costume. As a joke, I'm not gonna skin myself.
Yeah, no, I get you. And finally, we got one from somebody you know well, Horsor, the Horserer, the Nemesis main. Says, Puff, when did you really feel like you made it as a content creator?
He asked that when I asked for questions in my, I was going to make my own Q&A. I never did. But I answered that and I never posted. But I don't feel like I did make it. I do feel like to a certain degree I did, because again, I do feel like pretty recognizable now.
Mhm.
But it's stable enough for me that I can call it my job comfortably, and there's nothing better for me to do right now. But I would say, like, I feel so weird saying this because I haven't made it, but I don't feel like I'm in a position to say this, but it's just like when you feel like people enjoy what you're creating because it's you creating and not necessarily because the content you're creating is particularly unique.
Mhm.
Because for a time I felt like, Gaudier from somebody that I used to know.
Yeah.
I saw like not a documentary, like a video where he was talking about how he would like go to a show. He would he would put on a show, and then he would sing somebody that he used to know, and then everyone would dip right after when he went to his next songs. And I felt like that for a time with LFB. I felt like that's all people wanted from me. Yep. But I conquered my confidence back by, now LFB are not even my best performing videos anymore.
Yeah.
So like I had to conquer my confidence back, and I understood that people were watching me for me, and that was very comforting.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's such a relatable thing, because like this isn't the first time I've tried to go variety. I tried it end of last year, and the very first I went to video game reviews, and the very first one I posted got like 100 views, and I was like, oh, people only want Dead by Daylight then, I guess.
Yeah, give it time though.
And I was so defeated, because my videos just weren't doing well. And so this time around, I said, no matter what, no matter how bad the videos do, no matter how bad they perform, I gotta keep going. Because if I don't get that foothold, if I don't climb out of this rut I'm in, I'm gonna be fucking miserable. And, it's just such a, it's such a big thing. I'll tell you what, I think I'm gonna feel like I made it in content creation when I can live comfortably.
Off
content creation. Not like a millionaire or anything. I don't want to be like, super rich and shit like that. But like when I can when I know all the bills are going to be paid and I have a little bit extra to enjoy myself throughout the month, go out to eat or go bowling or rent a hooker or whatever. I think that's going to be when I feel like I've made it.
I've always had an advantage when it comes to that though, because I'm not sure you know about the currency exchange for USD to my currency in Brazil, but I could comfortably sustain myself here with like when I had like 8,000 subs.
Mm-hmm.
And because like USD is worth like my currency is USD is 5 times my currency, so anything that I make would be multiplied by 5, and that's how much I would be making.
You got an extra bedroom I could come crash over there.
No, you do not want to live in Brazil, trust me.
My dad was he was a great man, but he was an idiot as well. And he really loved asses. And I don't know if this is true. You can confirm. But apparently, Brazil has a festival dedicated to women's asses. That's what he heard. And so for my whole life, my dad wanted to live in Brazil just because of that. And I was like, my mom would always tell him, we're not moving to fucking Brazil because you like to look at asses. You have porn for a reason.
I'm too much of a nerd to know about those things. I don't really do that. I wouldn't go to those places.
Yeah, no, I get you. You guys, isn't Brazil where Rio de Janeiro is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure the movie Rio did a lot for your country. I loved that movie. Have you never seen Rio?
I have, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I always wanted to go. I always wanted to just go see Carnival like one time.
That is cool. Yeah, Carnival is. It's weird to say it like that, but Carnival is the way you say it. It's a cool experience to be there. But if you go into the parties too much, you are likely to get out of there like very sick.
Yeah. I come from I don't know how much the reputation proceeds down there, but I come from South Louisiana, which is home to New Orleans and Mardi Gras and shit. And growing up around it, you learn to hate it. It's my home city. They would shut down like half the city for Mardi Gras, and so like if you had the misfortune of like having to work that day or something, oh, it was bad, man. You couldn't get to your job, and like if your job took you 10 minutes to drive to, it'd take you an hour and a half to get to, because of the festival and the parades and shit. And if you go down to New Orleans and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go down there and party, I tell people, bring yourself a friend, bring 3 friends. Don't fuck around. Moving over to the YouTube questions, we have I'm gonna save that for last because it's kind of funny and I want to see your reaction to it. But we have Piper7805 says, are there any killers you've had trouble finding a main for when a new killer releases? How do you feel like you would wait to find someone who is dedicated main to that killer?
So for LFB, right? So for LFB, I think the one I had the most trouble with was Freddy, but the opportunity kind of just presented itself to me. I don't want to talk about it because I haven't posted the episode yet, but a Freddy main came up to me and helped me out. Let me actually check because that's interesting. I mean, I get asked stuff about LFB all the time, but nobody has asked that, which is interesting.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I know any Freddy mains.
Yeah, no, you'll know one. A great guy. He participated in my episode. Yeah, but I feel like everyone else was pretty simple to find. Yeah, and as for new killers, I would just keep doing them until I don't know, I die or something. I would just keep doing LFB for newer killers, and I'll just wait until someone establishes themselves. I already have my eyes on someone for Dracula, but I kind of want to give it some time.
Is it Bleak?
Who?
You don't know Bleak?
I do, bro.
I was about to say.
I don't want to talk about, like, I don't like revealing the guests.
Fair enough.
The episode happens, yeah.
Fair enough. I lost the page. Okay. Nope. Melon Plays says, what opinion on a certain killer you had changed? I think we talked about this a little bit earlier. With Skull Merchant.
I wouldn't say my opinion on Skull Merchant changed. I mean, she was gutted. The poor thing. Like, yeah. I don't.
Oh my god. All right.
I feel bad.
R.I.P. bro.
I think Skull Merchant is a lot funner to play against now. Not just because she's shit, but also because I feel like one beam makes the idea behind the Skull Merchant counterplay make sense. If they could just buff Skull Merchant to a point where she's like playable and keep one beam, I'd be happy. She would go all the way up to like C tier in my fun to verse tier list.
That's so hard because the one beam is part of what makes her so fucking shit right now.
Yeah, I don't know how they would manage to mess with that. But the one that my opinion changed the most was Clown. I thought that Clown was a piece of shit, low skills feeling killer until I learned how to weave in the yellow bottles and how much that goes into Clown with Araned. That changed. I mean, I still despise going against Clown, but like I understand the skill that goes into it.
Yeah.
Like if a Clown is winning a game, he has to be skillful.
Yeah,
this show would just give up or something. But
yeah, no, exactly. No, I understand that to an extent because like I hate going against Clown as Survivor because like so many clowns just throw all their bottles at one time at you and it's so fucking unfun. It's like, oh, thanks for the 16 purple bottles in a row for no goddamn reason. I really appreciate that. Go fuck yourself while you're at it.
No, those clowns are annoying to play against. Like the ones that just spam the purple bottles because they're gonna lose. They're gonna have a miserable time. You're gonna have a miserable time, and everyone is gonna come out of that game hating the character.
Yeah.
But if you're playing against a proficient clown, you will feel helpless, but it's to a degree that like, oh, he outplayed me, not he fucking threw 50 bottles at me until I died.
I can't pronounce the rest of that. Ian on YouTube, I'm sorry, but I can't pronounce your last. Meilleur says, what are your opinions on the Freddy rework, and do you plan on doing another LFB for the rework?
Yeah, I was talking to the person that I'm gonna have the LFB with. I'm gonna post the current one that I already have recorded, and then we're gonna do a remake from when Freddy gets reworked and they master Freddy again.
Nice. Couple more before our final question. Danger Keels asks, who do you think is an underrated YouTuber?
Oh,
Kaiser the Gamer.
Putting me on the spot here. Yeah. Wait, Kaiser has great commentary content for sure. Somebody else that I watch is Archie. Are you familiar with Archie Meebob?
Archie Meebob has been a regular in my comments and my Twitter, and I did not know they created content. So
they do. They make Vecna content. They're super funny guy, and they have like 300 subs.
Oh man, so, yeah, I will check. I will definitely check them out. For me, I'm actually got a video coming out Tuesday about her. Have you seen Twins Sagemane?
Twins Sagemane? What is that?
So Twins Sagemane is a YouTuber. She's got, last time I checked, it was like 1.75k subscribers, and she's a commentary channel, and she is probably, in my opinion, the most genuine, kind DBD commentary tuber I've ever seen in my life. Like, for literally I say this in the video, if I could I could wave a magic wand and make any DBD tuber the most popular one in the entire community, it would be her. Like, I genuinely believe she deserves to be as big as Otts, A-Run, Scott Junn, all of them.
That's awesome.
I truly believe she deserves, I will humble myself and tell you, I believe she deserves to be bigger than I am, or that I will ever be. She is genuinely, in my opinion, just the most underrated DBD commentator YouTuber I've ever seen. I feel like everybody should give her, and I'm really hoping that my video helps her get the exposure she needs and deserves. Like, I'm really hoping that people will go check her out and subscribe to her and watch her videos, because she, like I said, she's very kind, she's very genuine, she's very creative, her editing is very, very talented. I just genuinely think she deserves to be at the top. I really do, from the bottom of my heart.
That's great. I'll check her out too.
Bet. Awesome. So one more before the funny question. Says, this is from Georgia Lopez. Says, which original killer would you deem as Dead by Daylight's magnum opus based on their power design, lore, perks, and impact throughout the years? I have my answer.
Am I too basic for saying Wesker?
They said original.
Oh, like original. Oh, that changes everything. I mean, Singularity is up there. Dredge is up there. Unknown is definitely up there.
My answer was unknown.
Yeah, I mean, the Unknown is whole like the campaign. Is that what you call it? It's like how
the
they
marketing.
advertised it.
Yeah, the marketing. Yeah, from the marketing to
chapter,
the lore, thematic design.
The power is interesting to play as and against. Like, I don't know. I'm probably Unknown. Yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah, I think Unknown is like, as soon as I read the question, I always Unknown. I feel like there's no original chapter that's lived up to that quality. It's just amazing.
No, I agree. That's true.
Final question from the community from Amber's Hangout. When is Puffalope gonna stop lying on his learning from the best videos and admit he's now a killer main?
Okay, buddy. No, I play both sides. Okay, I'm not a killer. I don't want to be put in those groups anymore. Okay,
yeah,
I'm both sides player. Yeah, I play both.
I'm a DBD main.
Yep.
Well, Puff, man, it's been great, dude. I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun talking with you today, man. Thank you so much for joining me. Before you get out of here, just a couple things left. Number one, is there any specific things that you want for the B-roll for this video, or do you not care? Just throw whatever back there.
Like my content you're gonna put in the background?
No, I'm gonna play games for the
Oh.
background. Yeah.
Oh, it's just go for it. I mean,
Okay.
if you could play Blight, that would be cool.
Yeah, I can throw some Blight games. And finally, is there anything left you want to say to the people watching either on Twitch or on the YouTube when this comes out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that I've been put in the spot. I mean, I like being interviewed. I've always wanted to be part of a podcast, so I was so super excited when you invited me. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, if my viewers are watching this, that I'm just super thankful to be where I am because of you guys. You guys are amazing, and happy person I am.
All right. Well, if you want to join me in one last thing, thanking our channel members over on the YouTube. Thank you guys so much for the additional support. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much. I'm sure Puff does as well, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Need more Kaiser in your life? Well, I've got you covered. Check out my second channel, The Kaiser Extras, where I upload full gameplays, stream compilations, me reacting to your Dead by Daylight clips, and more. We also upload a daily short with all the greatest clips from stream. We'll see you over there. Link is in the description.